Like the Dems that think all the black people that voted for Trump were too dumb to realize they were being tricked.
Yep. So it's
and they'll say that openly.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We can't have a normal conversation about like, hey, these are the reasons why I voted this way.
All right, I have a question for the boys and girl.
Kalyne first.
Are the Democrats getting too good at messaging?
What message are you talking about?
The thing?
No, check this out. This is a video that they just released, and I think it's so sick.
No! That's kind of cool.
Bento box queen?
It's just like all the reps.
It's all these reps, and they're doing like fake fight poses. Yeah, it's really like, it's a tough watch.
It is a tough.
That's kind of funny.
It's also too much to read. Like, you're not supposed to write that much for these.
They're facts that like nobody cares about, right?
No, you know what?
You get it, right?
That's literally how memes die, though.
Yeah, dude.
And I hate to see
one.
it. Yeah.
Did you see that one where it was like all of them saying the same thing and then they're saying and it was like, what?
They're like, it ain't true shit or something.
Yeah,
Wild.
but
Wild.
it was written by one script writer or whatever, or a think tank or whatever, and then it's like, dude, it's so cringy.
So my question is, how do we fix the Democrats' messaging issue?
Stop trying to be so hip.
Yeah.
Let's start with that. Because
Well, you know what's weird is they used to be the cool. When we were growing up, Republicans were so fucking lame.
Yeah.
they need Diddy back. Vote or die.
Yeah, Republicans are the lame ones.
Bring that back.
Obama era was probably peak Democrat coolness.
Yeah.
Well, Bill Clinton was pretty cool too, because remember he was wearing
sure.
sunglasses on Arsenio Hall.
I think
and playing the
before that,
saxophone.
it was they were always the party of the youth and cool.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I just want them to stop saying things are great. I'm just sick of that.
Acting like everything's okay.
I'm sick of them saying that, like, no, actually, unemployment's way down. No, actually,
Well, now they're saying the opposite. It happened in 1 month. They're like, egg prices are a big problem.
Yeah.
We got a real big problem with the economy now. I'm like, where were you guys?
Yeah.
You guys weren't saying this in the last term at all.
I think what was it? Bernie was probably the most like he's talking about things people wanted to hear.
Yes. By a mile.
Yeah.
But
And
that was a great show of proof that a guy like that could never get in.
yeah.
Yep.
That's not what they want.
Well, the
Dems.
The Dems screwed him. Donna Brazile admitted to it, and then they just don't care about that.
It's so
anymore.
depressing.
Yeah.
Because they lost all the candidates that could have been. So, like in 2020, when Tulsi was running, she was actually. I thought she had a good chance.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, me
then
too.
they lost her. And there's really no candidates that are saying things that we want to hear. They're all saying.
Is that because of our politics, or is that because their messaging is not very good?
I think it's the messaging. Because I feel like now they really need to I hear a lot of a lot of media channels posting about Bill Burr talking about everything. And most people like Bill Burr, you know, and he talks about, he's like shitting on all the CEOs of like these health insurance companies, and he's just talking about basic stuff like that the American people want to hear. Like, yeah, can we get lower prices on healthcare? Can we make this a better system? And I think whatever side you're on, when you hear people make those arguments, you're like, yeah, I think all Americans kind of want that. Just like healthcare stuff. Like the big problems that I feel like, yeah, the Democrats don't really talk about that stuff.
Which is really weird, right? Because that's what they used to do all the like. They were the biggest voices against war. They were I just don't know this party anymore. Because when we were growing up, they were the cool ones that were like challenging censorship. They were the ones that were like,
they were shitting on Dick Cheney.
yeah, we don't like war, and they were like really for the people. And then somewhere during COVID or whatever, it all changed. Because now it's like, what's weird to me is both. It should be bipartisan, where we want them to scrutinize their spending and not be corrupt, right? That should be bipartisan. But then now it's like one side is Doge, and then the other side is just, oh, what are you doing? You don't need to do all that.
Elon's stealing my social security number.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Bill Burr things where I think Quartering was picking him apart because I guess back in the day he used to complain about billionaires and millionaires like having all this influence,
and then he changed it to. He says the same thing, but he doesn't say millionaires anymore.
He says billionaires.
Yeah.
For Bill Burr.
funny, 'cause he's
Why? Because he's a millionaire now.
Because now, like, his sentiment compared to when he first started is it's kind of the same, but he's excluding himself.
I don't think it's like.
Lit. Bernie should do that too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Bernie should have done it from the
He
start.
should have done from the start.
Dude.
But
Because he says millionaires and billionaires, but he's a millionaire.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid to go, oh, it's the immigrants or the billionaires or whatever. It's really a network of corrupt bureaucrats and hella rich oligarchs of America working together to get the deal done, and we all get fucked.
Yeah.
But how can the Democrats actually do something about that messaging though? Because they're not really out there saying a lot of that stuff.
I think the Democratic Party needs a disruptor because they
don't have a voice.
Dude, I would love if they made fun of themselves more.
I agree.
I would be more receptive to everything they have to say if they just sounded like nicer people.
Oh, you mean like in just the marketing?
Yeah.
Or you mean like
Just the market. Just
see.
the
Reaching
market.
people.
Because I feel like-
Right now they're at 20% approval rating, the Democrat Party.
Well, I think something happened to where they're like more like snobs, where if you don't believe everything that they do, you're just a dumb and they don't have any time to talk to you. And I think that's fucked up.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't think they sound like America when I hear them talking. Like
Yeah.
like the way that we're talking right now. Like I don't think that they talk like that, or maybe they would even be offended because you just said retard.
Yeah.
But this is how people talk, like regular people.
Right.
Like I remember the day after the election, going to the store and stuff, and just seeing people just living their lives and being normal. But like when you go on Twitter or wherever you're at, people are they're cutting their hair off, and
Yeah.
They're freaking out.
shaving their heads and losing their minds. But like normal people are just like we're just living our lives.
Yeah, normal people don't have time for that.
No, right.
Yeah, I just wish that they would take themselves less serious because I think when you think of AOC, it's like I would like to be more receptive to what she has to say, but she delivers it with such a rigidity and I feel like she hates me when she's telling me.
Right. Right.
Or just complaining about me.
Somebody told a Democrat pollster, I think on election day, one of the exit polling people, they were like, I don't like what the Democrats have to say because they make me feel bad about myself.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's
damn, I think that's so true.
That's very like the core of it.
Right.
Yeah,
Because there's just a guy being interviewed.
Finger
He's just a man, and he's like, I just feel bad about myself when I hear them talk.
I feel like there's a lot of equating. You know the equating thing where it's like, oh, if you this, then you are this.
Right.
A lot of that comes from the Dem side where it's like, oh, so I'm all of these things.
You're a Nazi.
I'm a Nazi, Islamophobic. I'm like all these things because I don't completely agree with something.
Yeah, I think that's what's weird because from Obama Democrats and before, they were so much more like, we want to bring manufacturing back. They're talking about jobs. They're talking about like,
Waste. Government. Obama's talking about government waste.
and I think that to me was like way more of a, oh, they cared about the people versus like, now they're just trying to like control the morality of people and shaming them and like, you're an idiot.
It's a lot of shame, like you said. It's a lot
What
of
do you
shame.
guys think about Stephen A. Smith running for president?
Is he gonna run for president?
So lately, he's one of the names that gets mentioned because he polls pretty well.
really?
And he's responded to it saying that just goes to show how in dire straits the Democrats are if they're choosing like me.
He doesn't want it.
He's very
funny.
that's what Ryan was saying.
Yeah,
It's like
that's funny.
Imagine the
Yeah.
Democrats being more self-effacing and like
Yeah.
just being normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I think I like Stephen A. I've always liked Stephen A. So like the idea that he could be the Democrat on the Democrat ticket, I already like that better than fucking Gavin.
I think
Newsom.
that's why comedy and comedians and all these things are doing so much better because as life gets harder, all you have is humor to like get through it.
Yeah.
And I think the lack of humor on the Dem side, it makes them look like they're not the answer. Because it's like, no, I
So
still need to
interesting.
cope. I need to cope with all inflation, the fact I can't buy a house here and all this like other shit.
It just-
that your salary doesn't equate to being a living wage. It's like you have to laugh.
One of the things that feels like something's wrong in the party is everyone feels manufactured and constructed and polished. So it doesn't seem like
yes.
they're authentic. And I know that, you know, Trump and his team, they have a PR team, and that it's just a different game because even if they are lying, at least they're willing to go to a podcast and do a 3-hour conversation.
At least they're willing.
Right? And then so now we get to decide and hey, is that a lie or not?
Yes.
But then when Kamala was making her rounds, she only did like 1 or 2 podcasts and it was very
Call
controlled.
her daddy is very like friendly.
She wanted all the questions. Like, it wasn't free flowing. It felt like, to me, old media is now, it has this like stigma of everything is a lie and everything is like so constructed. We want to get to know the person. And I think they failed massively because they're still doing things so old school that we need new politicians that can just sit on a podcast and have a conversation where like, okay, we get to hear these guys.
Bill
thoughts.
Clinton was a master at seeming like a regular human.
Yeah, he was good at that.
Really good.
Master.
Yeah.
And honestly, Obama did a great job of that too.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like he
I
was
mean, he
more
was
polished.
populist,
He was
yeah.
more polished than
Yeah.
Clinton, but he did a great job of just seeming like a guy,
Yeah.
like a regular dude.
and you could be proud as fuck of Obama.
yeah,
Yeah.
legit.
You could love the fact that that's your leader.
Exactly.
But Obama won because he scooped up all of the people that voted for
Disaffected.
Bush.
They were disaffected.
So they voted for Bush, and then they felt like that didn't work out.
He didn't do anything for me.
Yeah, and then so what did Obama do? He went to all the coal mining towns and all the factories, and he was just like, dude, let's bring these jobs back to America.
Yeah.
Who do you think could be the voice for the Dems now? Because I feel like they
Well, I
do,
think
like
this
you
is
said,
where-
they need one.
this
That's what I'm wondering from you guys.
Who's your favorite?
I think from Hillary and on, the Dems really fucked up because her campaign was, I'm with her.
It was dog shit.
So like,
It was dog shit.
it was like, wait, so
Bad
the
message.
only thing you're running on is let's be the first to elect a woman president in America.
Yep.
And there's no real talk about policy or what she's
People are hurting
about.
at home. They don't. It's not about electing a
Yeah.
female president right now. Like it's about them,
Yeah.
and that's what she totally missed.
Yeah. And I think Kamala did the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Where it
Well, she
was
ran
like-
on. Actually, things are good, and people are actually just lying about how things are. Like they don't understand that things are good. So we need to get the word out that things are really good. And most people are like, nah.
Yeah, it's not.
don't feel like
that's
it.
that's the most annoying part.
That didn't
They
work.
through it.
Plus, how could you? It'll never be true, no matter what.
Right.
People have such different experiences depending on where they live in the United States. You can never tell everyone it's all good. It's
But
not.
you can always remember. Like I'll never forget in the '90s. Like things were good. Like the Clinton economy was so good. Like it was noticeable, and I remember even like families talking about it, my parents talking about it. It was almost like Reagan was in office. How they talk about those years, I don't remember that shit. You know what I mean? Like it was just like things were good and things were cheap and business was booming and .com was going off and all that shit. So I just think that sometimes you just can smell the air and you're like, okay, things are better. Yes, of course people suffered, but on the whole, things felt good. And it felt like that before COVID too. Before COVID, I felt like things felt like they were kind of taking off in the right direction.
And then they.
Before COVID, right?
Before
Before
COVID.
COVID was lit, man.
I feel like it was.
I thought the ball was rolling.
Yeah.
The ball was definitely rolling, man. I remember Dietrich's 30th birthday party. It was lit.
You had to be
That's
there.
what they were basing
You
it
had
No,
to
we're
be
not
there.
basing off.
America, you had to be there.
It was affordable.
Yeah.
COVID fucked some shit
Two
up.
party buses, yacht at the end.
Gas wasn't bad.
Gas. He just spending.
That is what it
Hors
was.
d'oeuvres.
I'm like, zig. I'm like, you gonna get this? You gonna buy this? This is affordable. Let's go. We can afford raises.
Yep.
Mountain Dew gives you a nice, deal, and you're like, damn.
Getting brand deals everywhere.
YouTube,
America
everyone.
was getting brand deals.
YouTube. Everybody in the YouTube game was smoking. They're on fire.
That's true.
I just could never back then imagine like a whole group of people not wanting to associate with me because of a preference I have.
No.
No, yeah.
I could have never saw that coming.
And people in my family too, I noticed like they were doing well and they're talking about it. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't just tuber scum. It was like everybody was kind of having a good time.
Dude, we bought, a whole shelf of fucking Oreos off the shelf. You know what I mean? Like,
Killing it.
dude, we were going in. You know what I
Sleeves
mean?
of
But then
Oreos.
now people are gonna argue saying, yo, that wasn't Trump's work. That was Obama's work.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
They always do that about everything.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Trump, they're also doing that right now.
They are.
So it's like kind of.
They're always going to
Everybody
do
does
it.
that, yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
they-
I mean,
by
that's the argument people are gonna say.
Republicans said that the Clinton economy was so good because of Reagan and Bush. Like it's the same shit. It
It's always going to be like that.
always happens.
Yeah, and some of the things don't get executed until after they leave office.
That's a fact.
So it's like, what are people talking about?
Some of the messaging for the Republican side is fucking worse, though. I mean, we look at Ben Shapiro saying some of his shit.
Ben Shapiro's a
or
wild
doing a
boy,
rap
though.
song
Ben
with,
Shapiro
with
won't.
Tom McDonald.
I think
he's
just
super out of touch. I
He
think.
literally got out of hands.
Yeah.
He is,
Shapiro went out of hand.
He's just the everyman.
Yeah. I think he's just more worried about
Joe
making
America.
money. Yeah, he's just a full-on tuber now. Like,
Yeah, he's a tuber.
That's what it feels like. It feels like he's just saying things just to get views. Like
He
I
did
don't
his
even know
part.
if he. I don't even know if he believes it.
I think he absolutely believes it.
Yeah.
I think he absolutely believes it.
I want to see more like left-wing influencers that are coming up with their own like
Takes on.
takes and because they exist, right? But not in the way that the right does. And I think the reason why a lot of the right one or like is taking like pop culture too now is because you have so many people with diverse thought that is championing an idea, and then there's no like solidarity either. Like some people believe one thing maybe about IVF, the other group, but then there's discourse, there's talking, there's more action going on. Whereas like I don't really see that on the left. It's almost like everyone just thinks the same exact way.
And if you don't think it, you're getting smoked.
Yeah.
Or the
There's no
conversation
race.
gets shut down.
Yeah,
At least the conversation is being had on one side.
Yep.
That's the scary
I think
part.
you have to have room in your platform for forgiveness for people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you say the wrong
Completely,
thing,
yeah.
but they don't have that.
Don't eat your own guy.
Demonize somebody indefinitely.
And I think that's where all like the because everyone talks about the woke stuff. It's almost hand in hand with the left, right? So it's like or the Dems, and I feel like from that stage they were just recovering from like pointing fingers, demonizing you. So it's like I think they're gonna have to obviously adjust that, right? Like it seems like they understand that they can't really do that anymore. But I don't know if that'll continue.
Well,
I don't know if they've applied that though.
Yeah, they haven't because it
Not
seems
yet.
like they're just kind of like lost right now.
Yeah.
Do they
Yeah.
believe? Do they believe that like? Because at least from our side and everything we've had to cover and watch through the years, I don't think the Republicans needed a good message because they were reliant on the bad messaging from the left pushing people to their side.
I think that's
So
what's
it's like
happened,
more. It's like
That's
because of
true.
that messaging.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like,
there's
but
hella
are they
former
aware
Dems.
that they're campaigning for the Republican side by doing these things?
I don't think so.
No, because I've talked to my friends who are like hardcore, Democrats and whatever, and I do believe in the whole echo chamber thing where our realities are so different now.
Completely, yeah.
Like we're not watching the same news stations, we're not watching the same stories.
Yeah,
that
we're
are
not
going
fed
down.
the same article.
And you're not watching opposing.
Yeah, so like
Exactly.
for at least for them, they can't even like grasp their mind around why someone can even vote for Trump.
Oh.
So they can't even consider it because like when I talk to them, they're like, well, clearly he's an immoral person. Clearly this is the party of evil. How can anyone even like go that
So
way?
my mom
He
said
got convicted of grape being a lady.
Right. And then so I'm like, do you really believe that all these former Dems, all these people that used to really believe in the party, like they left because they are somehow like magically
Morally.
like put a spell on by the Trump camp? He goes, no, a lot of people I actually know, they're so disappointed with Democrats that they believe that Trump might be a better option because then his first term was fine. But then they're like, how is that even an option?
It wasn't fine. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
And then so the people that I know that can't even consider it is they really do believe that the Republicans are racists. They believe it to the point where like they're like, I just don't understand how a minority can even go right because they
Because
hate
you're not
you.
listening to them. You're not listening to those minorities who voted that way. You don't want to listen to them. You want to just tell them you want to be a doctor and give them a prescription and say like just listen to me.
Well, they don't even they think that if you do, then all of a sudden you're a race traitor. Something's wrong with you because you just align yourself with white to the point
It's
where you want
like
to
the
be
Dems
white.
that think all the black people that voted for Trump were too dumb to realize they were being tricked.
Yep.
So it's
and they'll
like,
say that
that's
openly.
crazy.
Proudly.
we can't have a normal conversation about like, hey, these are the reasons why I voted this way, because they automatically write you off as your.
Yeah.
Not only that, you want to be white, or they demonize you and they put all these labels on you.
Or you're just a
as if-
victim.
yeah, like there's no way you have a sound mind and you made an
The
adult
way you
decision.
concluded that.
Yeah.
I
On your
could take
Yeah.
a Bill Clinton speech and I could put it side by side, issue by issue with Trump, and it's the same shit. Trump is honestly a 90s Bill Clinton Democrat, and I don't think the left understands that is how simple it is.
Did you see that video where they took Trump's tax plans and they said they were Bernies, and
Yep.
they told people on the street, and they were like, "That's what I'm talking about."
That's how polarized we are. That's how polarized we are.
Yeah, they were like, "See, Bernie knows what he's doing, man."
You just have a different name attached, and instantly your perspective and
But those guys don't do research. They just look at it, and then if that's what it.
It's also almost impossible to research everything.
Yeah, nothing's real.
You can do that to me, I won't know, but I wouldn't answer. I would just be like, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
But then I do disagree with Bill Burr. He's like, "Well, you doing your own research? You doing your own?" And I'm like, "Yeah, actually, if you ever met one person who, like we've talked about many times, like you got a bad diagnosis from a doctor, you had to go get multiple second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion." But I remember hearing Bill Burr being like during COVID, he's like, "You're doing your own research? Oh, good. I'm glad you're a dumbass is doing his own research." I'm like, no, unfortunately, people have to do that because they can't rely on just a stamp approval from somebody who's of authority, because that doesn't always work for anybody.
right. And when things are important enough to you, you want to do your due diligence.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
Yeah, but I do think it's interesting though on the way that they view Trump supporters, right? So not everyone thinks this way, but one guy has pointed out, he goes, all right, so if you believe that corruption does exist in the government and all that, why do you give grace to this camp? Like, why do you not look at them with the same scrutiny as everybody else? He goes, why does the Trump supporting group go, this is our chance, Elon and these guys now is gonna clean up things? And he's like, so that doesn't make any sense to me, because you should be looking at everybody with this skepticism.
Agreed.
Yeah,
They
but I'm
should look
like-
at everybody.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, I don't have that whole, like, blindness, Trump can never do wrong.
Hell no.
I'm just saying, like, these are the guys that are actually talking about cleaning house where no one else is really. So let's give them a chance and see what goes.
Let's just see what goes. But again, we talked about this yesterday. You can't just have Elon's not taking anything out. They have to pass a budget that actually takes that shit out. So when they say Elon's taking all this shit out, it's not passed yet. He's just recommending what they're going to do, and then they have to approve it. So we'll see what happens with that. But it's not. It's big. It's all up in the air until it gets passed.
But I do think the consensus on the other side, though, is he's already gone too far. Like, they're already acting pretty crazy, and it's just it's getting out of hand.
Well, like I said, polling says
Well, yeah, I mean-
70% of people support the Doge thing.
I feel like if Dems had their way, nothing would have happened this entire month.
Nope. They would have just kept things going, the same thing. Nothing would have happened.
Yeah.
We would have all been told the same thing, that everything's
Right.
cool, let us handle it, it's all chill.
Yeah.
I do have this feeling that there's actual hope for change, like legitimate change,
Yes.
for once in a very long time.
The change we were hoping for with Obama, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
I didn't think, honestly, in my lifetime I'd ever see somebody audit the government like that.
Yes.
Same.
Fucking
One of
awesome.
the sickest things to ever happen.
Same. Well, they had
That's where the hope stems from.
Yeah.
they had the office to do that, but they weren't doing shit.
Nothing. Yeah.